Hey CamFam, we're here recording our 4th week video, our new technology assignment. So I'm on the directions page, and this week we're going to be talking about how to use your Google Docs. Now you may already use Google Docs before, but we're going to kind of dive into some of the features that you may not know about. And for those who are new to it, it's going to be a great lesson for you. If you have a computer, then it's easy to just follow these directions and do just the way I am. But if you do not have a computer and you're using a phone, you can still download the app and use the same features with the app. It may be a little bit more difficult, but if you choose to download the app, just make sure that you click on the doc that I provided in the lesson. That way you can edit the doc, because with the app you can only edit documents, you can't start a new document. But as long as you use the one that I provide, you should be able to work with it. Alright, so let's get started. First thing we want to do is just follow our directions, right? So steps 1 and 2 are to open up our drive using the waffles, and then from there we're going to create a new document. So we're going to go ahead and go to our drive. I'm going to click New, and then I'm going to hover down to Google Docs. Now we could hover over and get some other options, but we don't want that. We're just going to do a regular Google Doc. So we're going to click on that, and a new doc is going to appear. The first thing we need to do is put our name on it. A big problem that a lot of students have is forgetting to put their name on things, and it's especially a problem when it comes to Google Docs and slides and things like that. Before you do anything, you need to change the name. How do we do that? So we do that by clicking in the top left-hand corner where it says Untitled Document. Once we click there, the words are going to turn blue. Remember, blue lets us know that it's editable, that it's ready for us to do something to it. So we click here, and the words should turn blue. Now I can do one of two things. I can hit backspace and delete all those words, or I can just start typing. It's not actually necessary to do the backspace. So I'm going to just go ahead and type and put in my title, which is going to be your name. So for me, Miss Mac, and put in Docs Practice. Alright, so this is our practice document. We've given it a name. Now we need to click back on the page itself. If you don't click back on the page, everything you try to write after that is still going to be in the title slot. So make sure the title no longer has the blue box around it and that your cursor is on the page and is blinking. Alright, so the cursor's there. We should probably go back to our directions and check what we need to do now. So we've done steps 1 through 4, it looks like. Now we're to step 5. Step 5 is to share your document with Miss Mac. This part's super important. Again, before you start doing anything, you always want to share first. So we're going to click on Share. A new box is going to appear, and then we're going to go either typing in Miss Mac's name, or you can just copy it from our directions sheet. But let's go ahead and start typing my name in. Once you type it in, you'll click on it, and then you'll know it's me because there's a picture of my face. If you would like, you can go ahead and share that with Miss Rye as well, our new librarian who's going to be teaching you next year. So we can go ahead and type in Miss Rye's name. And once we find her name, we're going to click that as well, and there's a picture of her face, so we know this is correct. Once we have all of our sharing partners, all of the people who are going to collaborate with us, we can hit send, and then that's going to send it off to them. So now Miss Rye and I are going to have access to this document. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and do my next step, which is to write a sentence. So I want you to write me a sentence just telling me what your favorite book is, right? If all it is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, that's cool, because really we're just practicing. So I'm going to type in my favorite book. My favorite book is Red Rising. This is one of my personal favorites. Great sci-fi novel. Now that I've typed that in, we want to change this text. And this is where I think a lot of students don't really know how to do certain things. They know how to type, but they don't know how to alter the text once they've typed it. So in order for us to alter it, we need to highlight it. Remember, in order to highlight it, we're going to use 2 fingers, one to click and one to drag. So we want to take the cursor first and put it behind the words. Always start from the end because it's easier that way to manipulate it than starting from the beginning. So I'm going to use one finger to click onto my trackpad and the other finger to drag and highlight the words. When I let go, the words are highlighted. They're blue. Blue means go. It means you can do something with it. I'm ready to go. I want to change a couple of things about this. I want to change the size of the words, the color of the words, and the style or the font of the words. So let's start with size. To change the size, I find the number that's at the top, and I just click the little arrow next to it to pick a different number. Now you can actually type in a number, so if you really want it to be big, you could write like 100 to make the words huge, but we're just going to go with a slightly bigger number. So let's choose maybe 18. So now my words are a lot bigger. Okay, I've got big words now. I want to change the color of the words. Miss Mac's favorite color is, you may have guessed it, purple. So I'm going to choose the letter that has a line with color underneath it. That's the text color versus the highlighter, which is the highlighter color. These are two different things. We're going to focus on text color. So I click the text color box and I'm going to pick the color I want, which is purple. So now, as you can see, my letters are big and they're purple. One last thing, I want to change the type of letters they are, or the font, the way they look. So I'm going to go over here where currently the font is Arial, which is a basic font, but I want something a little bit fancier. So as you see, Miss Mac has a lot of fancy fonts, and you can scroll down and check out all these super cool fonts. Looking at different fonts is one of the most fun things to do. It's silly, but I really enjoy doing it. But I'm going to go ahead and go with this one, which is a pretty fancy font. And there we go. In order to take the highlight off, all I have to do is click on the page that is not highlighted, doesn't have words there, and the highlight is gone. And now I have a really beautiful sentence that has different color, different font, and different size. My favorite book is Red Rising. So that's a lot of great work there, but we have some more steps. Let's go back to our directions and check to see what else to do. So let's see, we've done through step 7. Now let's see what step 8 is. Step 8 is to insert an image from the web and put it in our document. So this is a big step. A lot of students don't really know how to do this. So we're going to go back to our document and we want to insert an image. Now before we insert it, I want to make sure I put the cursor where I want it. This is easy to forget, and it really can mess you up when you don't have the cursor where you want it, because wherever you put something, that's where it's going to be, wherever that cursor is. Right now it's blinking at the end of my sentence, but I don't want it there. So I'm going to hit enter a couple of times so that it goes down away from my sentence, and this is where I want to put my picture. So again, Miss Mac asked you to find a picture of your book, or the cover of your book. So we're going to follow the directions and click the button insert at the top. Once we click insert, we need to hover over the word image. So not clicking it, but hovering over it so that we can scroll over to the side and search the web. And my favorite book was Red Rising. So as this search box appears on our right hand side, I am going to type in Red Rising. And let's see what we get. Gonna go ahead and hit enter. I'm hoping that I can get the cover of it. Ooh, see, now I've got a lot of different things that are red, but not anything that has to do with the book Red Rising. I'm glad this happened though. So this reminds me that there's a little more to it sometimes. I need to type in Red Rising book. Let's see what we get now. Okay, we're getting a little better. But I still don't see the cover to the specific book I want. So I'm going to change it now to Red Rising book, and I'm going to put in the author's name, Pierce Brown. Oops, probably not going to get the right thing because I spelled Brown wrong. Oh no, I did spell it right. So still kind of struggling a little bit to find my book. So this is a really valid point. I'm glad this happened because as you can see, it's not always going to give you great options if you're using the search feature within a doc. So sometimes it's easier to find a picture on Google Images and then insert it here. But for our purposes today, I'm going to let us just pick a random picture to go into ours, because it's really just about practicing for today. So again, I would say using Google Images is a great way to find the pictures that you want. This is okay, but it's not the best. Alright, so instead of doing all that, we're just going to pick a picture. So I'm going to pick this one with all these books on it. I click it, and I get a box at the bottom that says insert. If you'd want to, you can also just click it 2 times, and it will automatically insert the picture for you. You don't have to click the second button. Just clicking the picture twice works. Alright, so now we have a picture to go with our sentence, and it is inserted into our doc. And we didn't even have to leave. Now that we've done that, we need to go back, check those directions again. What's our 9th step? Our 9th step is to insert a comment. So we're going to take the sentence we wrote and we're going to highlight it, then add a comment by clicking on the plus sign. So comments are something that teachers use all the time to give you feedback and to talk to each other. So again, we're going to highlight with 2 fingers, one to click, one to drag. And as soon as we highlight, this plus sign appears on the side. This is the comment box sign, and we're going to go ahead and click that. Now, I want you to specifically make the comment out to Miss Mack. So how are you going to make Miss Mack read this comment? Well, you're going to do it by, well, first of all, typing in what your message is. So read this. But then you're going to use the @ symbol, and it's going to pull up a long list of names. It's going to put up all the people who work at LEAD. You don't need all these names. You just want to find Miss Mack. So again, you're going to go ahead and start typing my name, which should be spelled for you on the directions page. And once you found my name, you're going to click it. So now that assigns this comment to me. So I have to do something with it. So I go ahead and click, yeah, I want to assign it to myself, and assign. So now Miss Mack has to see your comment because I'm going to get an email that tells me that I was assigned to this page and that you have given me a task to do. I need to read your sentence. All right, and that's pretty much it as far as the assignment is concerned. Now, if you see back here on your directions, there are also steps for you to do some extra things if you want to that Ms. Rye put on here for us. And then there's some additional resources as always. There's my phone number, there's my email if you want to email me. There's a how-to guide, and there's a video that specifically talks about how to do all this on the app. So if you're doing it on the app on your phone, it might be helpful to watch that video before you try to do it, because it talks about the app itself. But as always, reach out if you need help, and I look forward to seeing you guys' projects. Thanks so much. Have a great day, CamFam.